Hello, in this tutorial we're going to create this kind of alien peaks landscape. We'll go work with terrain, so we'll create some of those elements. We'll see how we can skew or manipulate with some landscape inside the VUE, how we can change some algorithms or kind of this noisiness in the terrain so we can create a unique look. As well, we will work with atmosphere to create this dimensional kind of dimension disappearing of the terrain with a haze, so we can see those layers. These techniques you can use on many different ones, like ice planet, maybe inside a forest or other element where you want to show this layering of the different elements and render inside the VUE. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Okay, so we're going to begin first by creating a normal terrain. And now we're going to edit. You can do this by double time click or right click and select edit object. And right here we have kind of interesting terrain. Few ways you can modify this if you need it. We can go inside and select all these different properties, or we can also just select some predefined function, or you can see all this different noise from all these presets that we have it. And some of them actually look kind of very interesting. What I'm going to do, I'll go with a bump and just create maybe something, different. So let's look how this will look. Nope, let's have some bumps. We'll go back to, and this again, you can see resolution a bit too high. So for example, you can reduce scale, make kind of like this, and this is actually look okay. So I may go and use it. This one, let's look kind of spiky. So we'll go ahead, click OK, and you can see right here we have our terrain. The other ways we can increase the height of the spike is just take terrain right here and drag up. So as we're doing this, you can see how they're increasing. Okay, let's go put this on a side, maybe on a middle. What I want to do with this spike, I want to create this tunnel as we're going through the sun. So to do this, we want to modify a little bit geometry of this. And we can do this by going inside and right here twist. We can specify the twist and just using different positions. For example, Z, we can start twisting. And you can see as I'm twisting how it's changed in our view. We can also go twist this way. It's where we want it. And we'll just twist on the side, which is create these spikes going in one direction. So right here, let's go ahead and render just to see what we have so far. Okay, we'll go click render, and there you go. You can see we have those interesting spikes kind of effect. Okay, so next what I want to do with this, it is apply some materials. Even we kind of put it, I want to bring it a little bit down. Okay, we can do a couple ways. We can also just click and say, hey, place it down and just twist a little bit forward so we have a preview. By the way, if you need more preview, you can also just, if you set your terrain sideways, you can see right here, it's kind of creating interesting look as well. But I want just a little bit, twist forward and settle. So here's our first terrain, and we can bring closer. The next, hold down Alt or Option key, left click on mouse and drag, and you can see we're duplicating those. So by duplicating, we can create very fast, rotate around, and put it on this side right here. The one thing when we do that, we also need a little bit skew to this side, because opposite. And because on different side, they will look somewhat a little bit different for us. Okay, let me adjust this one. To do on the back, we can same create one, move it. But again, to remove, it's on the back, we hardly can see. So what we want to do is increase in large size. So we can see something on the back right there. And also, if we want, we can go inside edit, and inside the function, we always can go in a repeater, and you can switch a little bit, just even you adjust some small values, it could change seed for us, so it will modify it. You also can increase or decrease a little bit so it will change a little bit shape. So multiple ways we can do this, but overall it still be kind of not visible a lot on this. So let's go do another one. We'll copy, move it, and increase in shape and put a little bit more far away. So right here we can see it. We'll take our main camera, and I think we can just slightly bring up so we can preview and readjusting. Okay, I see right here we have an open space. So for these ones, let's go create new one. Click on this again, Alt Option, drag, so we duplicate it, and we'll actually shrink this. The closer it is to the camera, the smaller we want it. So kind of maybe even something like this. So you can see how the spike is going between two of them. Okay, at this point we can take all of these terrains, select them, and we can apply materials. And here has become more creativity options. So you can do select ice, select glass, select ground. So for example, I'll just go select kind of weird darker material. So let me go take bump maps and just set to 0 for now. And we'll go take highlights. We'll take highlights to the 0 as well, almost, so it will create more dual look. Also, it's a stretchable, that because object parametric, let's go switch to world standard. You can see it's increasing and it's get too much noise, so we want to increase scale to 10. See how it will come up. And again, if it does not necessarily look right, we can try total different. We can go inside and create our own. For example, instead use pictures, we can go with a natural grain, and we can select two colors. It will be nice for the eyes. If you want it, you can create blue one. For the sandy, we'll just create red bright and kind of more yellowish. So we want kind of an close and same hue, but a little bit separate, so we can create. Let's go add roughness a little bit. Okay, right here, main camera. Okay, also till with here, let's go to copy this material, take our ground and paste on the ground, just so we have it same coloring going all over the place. Let me move the camera, see how it's looking. Yeah, probably about this height. Like good. I'm not sure if I still like these materials, so we'll go select all of them and edit, so we can edit at the same time. We could reduce more or roughness. And right here, I kind of don't necessarily like it too yellowish, so we're going to push this a little bit more to the red sand kind of look. Okay, bump map, kind of disable highlights. Let's just bring just a little bit back. Okay, I think overall shape is there for our scared place. Next, we want to play with the lighting and sunlight. So we'll take sun and we'll put it opposite just to the camera. So right here, you can see already it will create quite a bit look for us with shadowing and other stuff. You know what, as I'm speaking right these back mountains, let's bring them up so they look more kind of overhanging. This one and this one on the back, so they're kind of going over. Okay, also modifying, I like to disable after exposure on the camera, so this way I'll have it proper lighting in a tone and theme I want to do it. Okay, we'll take our sunlight and just move maybe slightly right between, so kind of almost poking through right there. And let's work a little bit more on atmosphere. So in atmosphere, by default, it says volumetric spectral. I would like to switch to the standard spectral, and this is give you a little bit more saturation on the color, and because it's more look like illustrations, I think that will more apply better to this one. And let's go check a couple things. So we have a global radiosity. We'll take ambient light and set more to desaturated, a little bit darker, right here. So we'll add reddish color. We maybe add clouds a little bit later. First, I want to add way more on air perspective. So it's add, you can see how this add all these dimensions as we pop up. You can slide to the 10. However, you can actually type higher value if you need it. 550, it's a little bit too much. We'll lost some of these, but I think maybe 20 will give it this dusty look with some mountains. Maybe still a bit too much. Let's go to 15. Okay, there you go. That we still have its shape and look nice. Next, these two properties will help us to create glowing around sun. So if we take overall glowing, you can see right here we're increasing, and if we add reduce this scattering, so we'll have this more point. Again, this is up to you what you like to do. If you want it, you can bring it higher and it will scatter more kind of around. I think I may keep it around 8, so we'll have a brighter dot right there, kind of sun. And we can play a little bit with this, see how much lighting you want. Let's go maybe around here. Okay, next, fog density. It's a lower item, and sometimes you bring closer and you can see the fog will add some of those glowing and will emphasize some of those highlights on top. So we can go inside and set maybe about 30. So we still have a little bit glowing right here, but not too much. Haze is overall will darken. Notice how it's come up. It's like overlay higher ways. So we can control some of this brightness with a haze. But I think this right around there, maybe a little bit more. Okay, our decay, again, this is will add redness. You can see we can have it very cold. So if, for example, you created this made from ice or snow, you can take decay down and it will look very blue, very cold one. Or opposite, you can go very strong to red. So I think it before was about 70, but I want just a little bit decrease to give it this cyanish color on the sky. And we can deep depth make on the sky by dropping down sky density. So it will give it color. Now I think 100 will look better on this way. Okay. So this way we kind of preset some atmosphere as an option. We can still play around a little bit more, maybe with the glowing, how much you want to glow from the sun, or we can do increase how much it will spread around or create closer to the point. So this is more in your artistic way, how you think it should look. Next, let's go work with add a little bit clouds, and we'll go just preload it. And I want to go to use just spectral big canvas, just very basic one. I don't want them overlay, but I want to add something to our cloud. So to do this, we'll take density and put it all the way to like 1. We'll take opacity to the 100. We'll add altitude variation. Okay, and maybe a little bit less on the cover. So let's see. So right here you can see we still have it. Well, you know what? Let's increase details. Details will add some of those small points, but you can see we still have an effect in the clouds kind of going around without just empty sky. So if you want, you can do similar to the fog on the ground, but I think this will work just fine as illustration itself, creating kind of alien look planet, I don't know, with a path on the middle. One thing, let's go do this right here, quality boost. Let's go put it to least 0 when we want higher to reduce some noise in atmosphere and other things, but I think overall this will work just good. Okay, let's go click OK. As a render options, we go render final. I will render a little bit higher property, and I think that is look good. So we'll go ahead, click render. I'm going to pause this tutorial and resume as soon as the render is done. And right here we have our image. It took about over a little bit hour to render because we have all the settings for the atmosphere. But you can see right here we have a nice kind of fog and distance. It's showing us dimensions. We also have those skew alien look, kind of planet, maybe riggish. Again, this is open possibility for you to play a little bit more with materials, maybe create ice world or some other ones. And I hope you're enjoying this tutorial that teach you something more, new techniques or different way to look how to create a landscape inside the VUE.